A major winter storm in Texas left millions without electricity for days in 2021. Pharmacies closed, gas stations couldn't pump fuel, elevators stopped working, and grocery shelves emptied faster than most people expected. For older adults, the biggest challenge wasn't inconvenience. It was maintaining health, comfort, and independence when everyday systems suddenly stopped functioning. For Americans over 50, a prolonged blackout creates unique concerns. Medications may require refrigeration, medical devices depend on power, and simple routines become much harder when lights, phones, and appliances go dark. That's why today we're covering 12 emergency essentials every senior should have before the next blackout arrives. Some of these items cost very little. Others are things many people already own but may not be storing correctly. And one item near the end of this list is often overlooked, even by people who consider themselves well prepared. Let's begin. Number 1. Headlamps with red light mode. When the power goes out, your first instinct is to grab a flashlight. But traditional flashlights have a major flaw for seniors. They occupy one of your hands. If you are navigating stairs, carrying water, or helping a spouse, you need both hands free. This is why a high-quality headlamp is non-negotiable. However, not all headlamps are created equal. You must look for one with a red light mode. Why? Because white light destroys your night vision. When you switch from a bright white beam to darkness, it takes your eyes up to 30 minutes to readjust. In an emergency, you may need to check on things repeatedly. If you use white light, you are blinding yourself every time you turn it on. Red light preserves your natural night vision, allowing you to see in the dark immediately after turning the light off. Furthermore, as we age, our pupils do not dilate as quickly. Glare from a standard LED flashlight can cause disorientation or even temporary blindness, increasing the risk of falls. A headlamp with a diffused red beam provides enough illumination to see obstacles without the harsh glare. Make sure you buy lithium batteries for these devices. Unlike alkaline batteries, lithium batteries perform significantly better in cold temperatures and have a shelf life of 10 years. You do not want to discover your batteries have leaked or died when you actually need them. But light is only useful if you can see what matters. And what matters most in a blackout is not your furniture, it is your health. This leads us to the second essential, which addresses the single biggest risk during a prolonged outage. Number 2. A manual pill organizer with large print. It sounds simple, but chaos disrupts routine. When the power fails, your daily rhythm is broken. You might lose track of time. You might be stressed. For those managing multiple medications, this confusion is dangerous. Did you take your morning dose? Was that yesterday or today? A standard plastic pill box is not enough. You need a manual organizer that is clearly labeled with large, high-contrast print. Look for one that separates doses by day and time: morning, noon, evening, bedtime. But here is the critical upgrade. Choose one that is transparent or has clear windows. This allows you to visually confirm that a pill has been taken without having to open the compartment and risk spilling them in the dark. Why is this vital? Because many seniors rely on refrigerated medications, such as insulin or certain heart drugs. If the power is out for more than 4 hours, these medications can spoil. You need to know exactly which doses are safe and which are not. A clear, organized system prevents you from accidentally taking degraded medication, which can be ineffective or even harmful. Keep this organizer in your go bag or emergency kit, pre-filled with at least 3 days' worth of essential medications. Do not wait for the blackout to fill it. Fill it now, and rotate the stock every 6 months. This simple act removes the mental load of remembering dosages during a crisis. Now, having your medication is useless if you cannot administer it properly. Many medical devices require power. This brings us to a category of items that are often forgotten until it is too late. Number 3. Manual blood pressure monitor. Digital health gadgets are wonderful when the grid is working. But when the batteries die or the power surges damages your electronics, you are left in the dark, literally and figuratively. Stress raises blood pressure. A blackout is stressful. If you have hypertension, you need to monitor your levels, but you cannot rely on a digital monitor that requires AA batteries you might not have. A manual aneroid sphygmomanometer, the kind with the bulb you squeeze and the dial you watch, requires 0 electricity and 0 batteries. It is mechanical. It will work forever if stored properly. Yes, it takes a little practice to use. But if you are caring for a spouse or if a caregiver is visiting you, this device ensures you can still track vital signs, regardless of the infrastructure status. Health professionals frequently advise keeping a backup manual version of any critical monitoring device. This includes glucose meters with test strips that do not require coding, or manual thermometers. The goal is redundancy. If your primary tool fails, your secondary tool must be analog. This principle of analog redundancy applies to more than just health. It applies to how you receive information. In a modern blackout, your smartphone is a brick. You cannot get news, weather updates, or emergency alerts. Number 4. Hand crank NOAA weather radio. You might think, I have a battery-powered radio. But batteries run out. In a prolonged outage, finding fresh batteries becomes a scavenger hunt. A hand crank NOAA weather radio solves this problem permanently. NOAA stands for National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. These radios pick up specific frequencies broadcast by the government for emergencies. They provide real-time updates on storm paths, boil water advisories, and restoration timelines. But the key feature is the hand crank. Even if the internal battery fails, 30 seconds of cranking gives you enough power to listen for 10 minutes. Many models also include a USB port to charge your phone slowly. While this won't give you full internet access, it might provide enough power to send one critical text message to family members, letting them know you are safe. That peace of mind is invaluable. Do not buy the cheapest model. Look for one with a solar panel backup as well. This creates a triple redundancy system: wall charge, hand crank, and solar. Place this radio in your main living area, not buried in a closet. You need to hear it. Information is power, but physical warmth is survival. As we age, our bodies lose the ability to regulate temperature efficiently. Hypothermia can set in indoors if the temperature drops below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, especially for seniors with slower metabolisms. Number 5. Mylar emergency blankets, the space blanket. You have likely seen these shiny silver sheets in first aid kits. Most people dismiss them as flimsy junk. They are wrong. These Mylar blankets reflect up to 90% of your body heat back to you. They are not meant to replace your wool blanket. They are meant to amplify it. Here is the smart way to use them. Wrap yourself in your regular cotton or wool blanket first, then wrap the Mylar blanket around the outside. This traps the heat inside. Alternatively, Line your sleeping bag with it. The difference in warmth can be 10 to 15 degrees. They are also waterproof and windproof. If you have a drafty window or a door that doesn't seal well during a winter storm, taping a mylar blanket over the gap can stop the cold air infiltration. They cost less than $2 each. Buy 10. Keep them in every room. They take up no space, and they could prevent a trip to the emergency room for hypothermia. But warmth is only half the equation. The other half is hydration, and this is where many preparedness plans fail spectacularly. Number 6, water filtration straws or tablets. Most people store water. That is good. But do you have enough? The general recommendation is 1 gallon per person per day. For a 3-day outage, that is 3 gallons per person. For a week, it is 7. Do you have 49 gallons of water stored for a couple? Probably not. It is heavy and bulky. Instead of relying solely on stored water, you need the ability to make unsafe water safe. If the power goes out, municipal water pumps may stop working. Or, worse, the water lines could break, contaminating the supply with bacteria. Boiling water requires fuel, which you might not have. This is where water filtration straws or purification tablets come in. A filtration straw allows you to drink directly from a suspect source, filtering out 99.9% of bacteria and parasites. Purification tablets are lightweight and can treat liters of water in minutes. Keep a box of iodine or chlorine dioxide tablets in your kit. They have a shelf life of 5 years. They are small, cheap, and effective. Remember, you can survive 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. Dehydration in seniors leads to confusion, kidney failure, and falls. Do not gamble on the tap water staying clean. Now that we have covered light, health, information, warmth, and water, we must address the most common cause of injury during blackouts. It is not the cold. It is not the hunger. It is the fall. Number 7, glow-in-the-dark tape and motion sensor lights. When the power cuts, your home becomes an obstacle course. Rugs, steps, furniture corners, these become hazards. Seniors are at a much higher risk of fracture from falls. Breaking a hip in the dark, alone, is a worst-case scenario. You need passive lighting. This means light that requires no action from you. Apply glow-in-the-dark tape to the edge of every stair tread. Mark the path from your bedroom to the bathroom. Mark the location of your emergency kit. Additionally, install battery-operated motion sensor LED lights in hallways and bathrooms. These are inexpensive, stick on with adhesive, and turn on automatically when they detect movement. They provide just enough ambient light to navigate safely without blinding you. This is the item I mentioned earlier, the small, inexpensive device that saves lives. It is not high-tech. It is not expensive, but it provides continuous safety without requiring you to remember to turn on a flashlight. It works while you are asleep. It works while you are confused. It is your silent guardian in the dark. With safety addressed, we move to sustenance, but not just any food. Number 8, no-cook, high-calorie food options. When the power is out, your stove and microwave are dead. If you have a gas stove, you might be able to cook, but ventilation is an issue and fuel is limited. You need food that requires zero preparation. Focus on calorie-dense foods that you can eat cold. Peanut butter is excellent. It is high in protein and fat, requires no cooking, and has a long shelf life. Nuts, dried fruits, and granola bars are also ideal. Avoid foods that are high in sodium, as salt increases thirst and you want to conserve your water. Also consider ready-to-eat meals in pouches, like tuna or chicken salad kits. These come with crackers and require no draining or mixing. The psychological comfort of eating a meal rather than just snacking on nuts can boost morale significantly during a stressful event. Do not forget a manual can opener. Electric can openers are useless in a blackout. Keep a sturdy manual one attached to your emergency kit. Test it occasionally to ensure it hasn't rusted or jammed. Food and water are handled. But there is a sensory aspect to blackouts that causes immense anxiety: the silence. Number 9. Battery-powered fan or white noise machine. Modern homes are quiet. When the hum of the refrigerator, the HVAC system, and the electronics stops, the silence can be deafening. For some, especially those with cognitive decline or anxiety, this silence can trigger panic or confusion. A small battery-powered fan serves two purposes. First, it provides airflow if it is hot and you cannot run the AC. Second, and perhaps more importantly, it provides white noise. This constant sound masks the eerie silence and can help you sleep. Sleep is crucial for maintaining immune function and mental clarity during stress. If you suffer from tinnitus, the silence of a blackout can make the ringing in your ears unbearable. A white noise machine or a simple radio tuned to static can provide relief. Do not underestimate the psychological impact of sound. Comfort is a form of preparedness. Now, let's talk about communication, not with the world, but with your neighbors. Number 10, whistle and signal mirror. If you are trapped, injured, or unable to call for help, how do you alert rescuers? Yelling is exhausting and ineffective over distance. A whistle is loud, piercing, and requires minimal energy. 3 blasts on a whistle is the universal distress signal. Keep a whistle on a lanyard around your neck or attached to your wheelchair or walker. If you fall and cannot get up, you can blow the whistle to alert neighbors or passing emergency vehicles. It is far more effective than banging on walls. A signal mirror can also be used to reflect sunlight toward rescue helicopters or crews during the day. It is a simple tool, but it extends your reach beyond your immediate home. Preparedness is not just about surviving inside, it is about being found. We have covered physical needs. Now we must address financial and administrative continuity. Number 11. Small denomination cash and physical copies of documents. During a blackout, credit card machines and ATMs do not work. Digital payment systems go offline. If you need to buy supplies from a local store that has a generator or pay a neighbor for help, cash is king. Keep a stash of small bills. A $100 bill is hard to break if someone only has a few dollars in change. Small denominations allow for flexibility. Store this cash in a waterproof container in your emergency kit. Additionally, have physical copies of your insurance cards, medication lists, and doctor's contact information. If you need to go to a hospital, their computers may be down or slow. Having a paper list of your medications and allergies can speed up treatment and prevent errors. This paperwork is your identity and your history. In a digital blackout, paper is the only record that remains. Finally, we arrive at the 12th item. It is the most personal and often the most neglected. Number 12. Comfort items and entertainment. A blackout can last for days. Boredom and isolation can lead to depression and despair, especially for seniors who may already live alone. You need items that soothe the soul. Pack a deck of cards, a crossword puzzle book, or a favorite novel. Bring along photos of loved ones. If you have grandchildren, have their drawings ready to look at. These items provide a mental escape from the stress of the situation. Music is also powerful. If your radio has an MP3 player input, load it with your favorite songs from your youth. Music triggers memory and reduces anxiety. It reminds you of who you are and what you have survived before. Preparedness is not just about surviving. It is about maintaining your dignity and your joy in difficult circumstances. Do not skimp on comfort. It is a necessity, not a luxury. Let's review the 12 essentials. 1. Headlamps with red light mode. 2. Manual pill organizer with large print. 3. Manual blood pressure monitor. 4. Hand crank NOAA weather radio. 5. Mylar emergency blankets. 6. Water filtration straws or tablets. 7. Glow-in-the-dark tape and motion sensor lights. 8. No-cook, high-calorie food. 9. Battery-powered fan or white noise machine. 10. Whistle and signal mirror. 11. Small denomination cash and physical documents. 12. Comfort items and entertainment. You do not need to buy everything today. Start with one category. Perhaps this week you buy the headlamp and the batteries. Next week you assemble the pill organizer. The week after you print out your medical records. Small steps create a fortress of security. Remember, the goal is not to live in fear. The goal is to live with confidence. When you know you are prepared, the next storm outside your window is just weather, not a catastrophe. You retain your independence. You protect your health. You safeguard your peace of mind. Take action this week. Check your supplies. Talk to your family. Share this list with a friend who might need it. Preparedness is an act of love for yourself and for those who care about you. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing for more practical tips on healthy aging, preparedness, and everyday resilience. We are building a community of informed, confident seniors, and we want you to be part of it. Stay safe, stay prepared, and stay independent.